Cindy was spending her birthday at the Grand Canyon on June 3rd, 2017, enjoying a family vacation and the kind of views that make people go silent. The area, known for its deadly heights and unforgiving cliffs, was mostly lined with protective railings. That day, among the tourists, stood a man, barefoot, dazed, and clearly under the influence. Without warning, and as if the view wasn't thrilling enough from behind the barrier, he climbed over the guardrail and casually began walking along the edge of the canyon. What happened next would leave everyone around frozen in disbelief.
Oh, do not have to get out though. I'm good. Okay. I have to get back up though. That's the issue. Climbing that rock.
Just come back, man.
Just come back.
Oh yeah, I'll come back sometime. Oh, this is beautiful.
It is, but...
Tragically, the situation unfolded exactly as many had feared. Cindy called out to him several times, pleading for him to step away from the edge, but he wouldn't budge. Then, in a bizarre moment of calm, he looked out at the canyon and said, "That's going to be a problem." Before anyone could react, his balance gave out, and just like that, with dozens of people watching in stunned silence, he was gone.
No, don't look, don't look. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we told him to come back up. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We need a call. You have your phone. Get your phone.
Here.
Give me a call. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, baby girl.
Just move back, kid.
Oh my gosh.
Has this ever happened before?
He's not moving, huh? He's not moving. Hello? Hello?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Hello?
Emergency services were alerted almost instantly, and within minutes, a rescue helicopter was hovering over the canyon. Somehow, against all logic, he survived the fall. Pure luck. He'd landed just short of a second drop that would have turned a miracle into a tragedy, but his survival came with a heavy price. He spent 2 excruciating months in a coma, fighting sepsis from infections that had spread through both of his collapsed lungs. Physically, he pulled through. Mentally, he's still there, but his memory's patchy, and not everything connects like it used to, so here's the brutal truth. All that risk? For a view that looked exactly the same from behind the railing. Cindy saw it clearly and safely, just 2 meters away. The guardrails aren't there to block the experience, they're there to keep the experience from turning into a headline. And look, this kind of thing has happened before, too many times. So if you're gonna tempt fate, at least wear shoes that aren't slicker than the rocks under your feet, and maybe don't do it while buzzed. And hey, if stories like this keep you hooked, creeped out, or just make you rethink your next vacation selfie, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It costs nothing, takes 1 click, and unlike free climbing cliffs barefoot, it won't land you in a helicopter. On December 21st, 2024, Sailing Supernova released a gripping video recounting a rare and terrifying pirate attack they barely survived just a week prior. Their journey began as a routine sail from Los Ras, Venezuela, headed toward Grenada. With visas about to expire, they had no choice but to press on, even as the weather turned rough and the risks started to pile up.
These jerry cans, a hair less. So that's why we have so many of these jerry cans in the cockpit. But because we're going to be doing some sailing soon, we're going to be cleaning up the cockpit. So these jerry cans have to go forward. We have a couple more jerry cans forward, but we probably won't be needing those. And we still have some full ones left in the cockpit. So we just didn't want to be bringing full jerry cans back from the fuel locker in like crazy waves and everything. That's why we started with this in the cockpit. And it looks ridiculous, but we just didn't want to be going forward with heavy jerry cans. Now I get to go forward with really light jerry cans. That's most of them. We're gonna stick a couple of them down below in here, and we'll reorganize when we're not out here rolling around. Oh, there's birds. Maybe there's some fish.
I just noticed on the chart plotter that we've gone over 8,000 nautical miles, and that's since around the end of July last year when we left on this big trip. So that's a pretty big achievement for us.
They prepare carefully, securing the boat, topping off fuel tanks, and readying themselves for a difficult sail into headwinds and high waves. The first day at sea is exhausting.
Good morning, everybody. It's day one of our hopefully 3-day sail from Venezuela, Los Roques, to Grenada. And we are going directly into the wind and the waves. Right now, the wind is 23 knots and literally 0 degrees. So, a bit rough. I slept okay, thankfully. Darcy's gone to sleep now. I think he had a bit of a rough night. A few things not going quite perfectly. Our day tank that we're using over on the port side until we can get to fuel line that we weren't able to get in the ABC Islands to fix that problem. We were worried about a little bit of air getting in because it's so rough. So we're just topping it up with jerry cans every couple of hours. But still much better than what we were doing beforehand, which was just using the jerry cans straight into that engine. The bilge pump on the starboard side is just working continually, even though once it empties out the water on that side that's getting in a little bit, it should turn off on its own. So we've got to kind of continually go in and flick that off so it doesn't just run for the next 3 days straight. But yeah, just little things like that, nothing major. It looks like it's going to be a nice day. The sun's just gotten up and hopefully that wind sits down a little bit like it's supposed to, but you can never really trust those weather forecasts completely.
They battled choppy waters, a stalled engine, and a bilge pump failure that allowed one of the compartments to start filling with water. Through quick repairs and constant vigilance, checking every 15 minutes, they adapted to the unpredictable rhythm of offshore sailing. Amid the chaos, there were rare pockets of calm, brief moments to catch their breath before the next challenge hit.
Bolt. Not sure where it's from. We've looked everywhere. It was just sitting on the cabin top on one of the solar panels as though it's fallen down, but we can't tell. We've looked everywhere, so hopefully it's not something important. But we're going to have to keep a lookout for that. And also the wind has died down nicely. It was getting up between like 25 and around that pretty much most of the way and slowly dropping down. Now it's all the way down to 10. So we'll probably have to either sail slowly or wait till a bit more wind comes before we can start like really sailing well. But I'm going to make the most of that and do some fishing, because I definitely didn't feel like fishing earlier when we were like just blasting. Started feeling a bit seasick, but now I'm good to catch a fish. So fingers crossed I get something.
As the weather begins to ease, they decide to tack closer to the Venezuelan mainland, opting for a shorter route near Isla Margarita and Los Testigos.
I'm on shift now. It's a bit after 2 a.m. and Darcy's just gone down to the room to sleep. He has slept up in the saloon a little bit this passage because it's been so noisy and rolly and rocky and everything, but it's so much calmer right now, so he's gone down to the room. I think it's calmer because different point of sail, wind is nowhere near as much, and so the waves aren't nearly as much, and then also we're sailing, so it's also just better in every aspect. But yeah, the wind for the first day was like 25 most of the time, and now it is only 14, so much different, much nicer for upwind sailing anyway. And in the waves we ended up reefing the jib before he went to bed. The wind was still up around 20, or had gotten up to around 20 and was kind of hovering between 17 and 18, 19, 20, and we have the waves on the beam now because we've changed that point of angle, point of sail, and so we were kind of rocking to the side a bit, and we were both kind of like I think we worry a fair bit about capsizing. It's one of the many or few, I don't know, downsides of a catamaran. So yeah, we reef just to be extra safe because it's at night time and just me up here, so Now we have a reefed mainsail and a reefed head sail, but we're still kind of flying along about 4 knots, so it's pretty good when the wind is only like 14, 13. We thought we turned at the right angle so that we could miss the islands. We definitely missed the first set of islands that we went past and we could see, but there's further islands further down called Islas Tortugas? Oh no, Testigos. Islas Testigos.
That region has a reputation for piracy, but at the time, it felt like the safer option, a way to escape the relentless pounding of the open sea. As night falls, the winds return with a vengeance, climbing past 30 knots. The crew scrambles to reef the sails, but things quickly spiral. A mainsail batten breaks loose, sheets twist into knots, and in the chaos of trying to regain control, no one notices the real danger creeping toward them from the dark.
How much we've cleared up in here. It's amazing. Even though this has been the roughest passage we've ever had, nothing has fallen to the ground, so you'd probably be super proud of us. I'll show you. As you can see there, the spices. Oh. Darcy! Darcy! Darcy, wake up! There's a boat! Get up!
Out of the darkness, a small boat, one of those low-profile pangas commonly used by pirates in the region, raced toward them. It didn't take long to realize what was happening. The crew jumped into action, engines fired up, all lights were shut off. Their AIS transponder, which broadcasts their location to other vessels, was switched to silent. They vanished from the digital map in seconds, but the real threat was already too close. One of the pirates leapt aboard. Darcy, coming up from the forward hatch at the exact moment, startled the intruder. The two collided in a chaotic struggle. Somewhere in the clash, the pirate's weapon slipped from his grip and splashed into the sea. With their element of surprise gone, the attackers panicked, and within seconds, they were gone, fled just as fast as they came. The entire attack was over in under 30 seconds. But for the crew, the aftermath felt like hours, racing heartbeats, shaking hands, the weight of what almost happened. Later, they admitted they made some risky decisions. Hugging the Venezuelan coastline was a gamble. Leaving too much sail up in heavy wind only added to the chaos. Still, they got some things right. They had a nighttime emergency plan. They kept radio silence, avoiding VHF chatter that pirates might intercept. Instead, they used satellite messaging to reach a friend, who immediately contacted the Grenadian Coast Guard.
Hoping that it was going to get better a little faster, but it's kind of a bit nagging and it's taking a bit longer to improve to the level that we would like it, but still doing okay. I pretty much got out of it without being hurt. I had a bloody nose, and that was pretty much it. And this wasn't like a long, drawn out, like punch for punch fight. This was over very quickly. Like 30 seconds or less, it was over. So the worst of the injuries are Yvette's back. The bruising on the arm is largely gone. She had trouble using her arm for a couple of days after, but the back is the main thing from the slip and the fall. Another question is when or if this was reported to the Coast Guard. Yes, it was reported immediately within 5 minutes of the attack taking place. It was reported to the Coast Guard through our friend Brian. And then we also contacted the Coast Guard. We've had interviews with the Coast Guard as well as we've reported it to our individual country consulates. So it's been reported to everyone. It's on the Caribbean safety net for cruisers as well, the location of the attack. So that has all been done. If anyone is wondering, the Coast Guard did come to us and we did interviews on the Coast Guard boat to give them all the information that we possibly could, and they did check out Supernova.
There were injuries, but nothing that turned critical. Yvette took a hard fall and hurt her back. Darcy ended up with a bloody nose, but otherwise walked away okay. It could have been so much worse. And yes, they reported it right away. The Grenadian Coast Guard responded swiftly, debriefed the crew, and filed the report into the Caribbean Safety Network that helps keep other sailors informed. They were also quick to clear up any confusion. The attack didn't happen near Las Aves, the peaceful anchorage where they'd spent 2 relaxing weeks with kind locals and a solid cruising community. This was 200 nautical miles away, deep in a zone that's long been marked high risk. Despite everything, they remained grateful. Grateful to be alive, grateful to be able to tell the story themselves. So, what's your take? Just bad luck? A close call handled well? Or something else entirely? Let me know in the comments. And hey, if these kinds of real-life sea stories keep you on the edge of your seat, hit that subscribe button. It's the safest adventure you'll take today. The creator, a Russian outdoorsman known for his peaceful hunting and fishing videos, usually delivers the kind of content that feels like a quiet escape from the noise of daily life. His videos are slow, steady, and oddly comforting, perfect background material when you just want to unwind. This one began no differently. A solo trip deep into the remote wilderness, rod in hand, surrounded by nothing but trees, water, and stillness. It had that familiar calm, until it didn't. Somewhere along the way, something shifted. The peaceful vibe gave way to something heavier, darker. Suddenly, it wasn't just about whether he'd catch a fish. It became a quiet, creeping question. Will this video end? Or will his story end with it?
Рыбачить буду на вертушечку, вот на такую. Вертушка та же с прошлого года. Ничего у меня не поменялось. Сходил, подумал, даже бумага есть. Мало ли мысли записать. Ну все, ребята, спиннинг собрал. Короче, еще один поводок нашел на запас. Такой ядреный, как вот этот чай. Очень крепко заварился. Все, сейчас тихонько пойду, покидаю. В этой речке есть и хариус, и щука. Беру только самое необходимое.
At first it was slow. He drifted from one location to the next, casting into the still water, coming up empty every time, just the quiet repetition of the hunt. Then he came upon a spot that felt different, secluded, untouched, almost too quiet. That's when things took a turn.
Что там? Кто там? Уходи, говорю! Уходи! Уходи, говорю!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119
такие, друзья, блядь, дела. Как идти сейчас непонятно.
If you ever come face to face with a bear, maybe just let loose with some choice words. Sounds wild, but this guy actually did it. And you could literally see the bear's puzzled look. Like, why is this human yelling at me in my own backyard? In the US, people tend to shout things like, "Hey, bear," to scare them away. But in Russia, they go full-on savage roast mode, like they're collecting a debt. Poor bears don't know what hit them. This guy was seriously lucky the bear didn't attack. Things could have gotten bad real fast. Hopefully, he had bear spray nearby, though he never mentioned it. Honestly, if you're out fishing or hiking in the deep woods, always carry bear spray. Guns probably won't do much unless you're a pro shot, but bear spray? That's the real deal. Or hey, if all else fails, just start yelling insults at the bear. Who knows? Maybe that's what keeps them away. On January 10th, 2016, what was meant to be a calm fishing trip near the Kanagawa River in Fufuki City, Japan, quickly took a dark turn. A man ventured into the surrounding forest, looking forward to a peaceful day by the stream. At first, everything felt calm and quiet, until he spotted unusual markings carved into the trees nearby. Assuming they were from the wild boars common to the area, he didn't realize just how wrong he was. Out of nowhere, a massive bear charged straight from the woods. The man tried everything, shouting, puffing himself up, doing his best. "I'm way too big to mess with" impression. But as he scrambled backward across the slippery rocks, he slipped and fell. For a brief second, the bear pulled back and the man dared to hope it was over. Nope. The bear charged again, faster and angrier than before. This time the man screamed at the top of his lungs. Pure panic, pure survival mode. Miraculously, it worked. The bear finally turned tail and disappeared back into the forest. Left trembling and out of breath, the man realized how close he'd come to becoming bear lunch. One wrong move, 1 second too slow, and that would have been it. So, what's the lesson here? Maybe next time, try yelling at a bear before it yells at you. Or better yet, just stay out of the woods. This story comes from Scotland's Mountains, a YouTube channel run by Billy, an intrepid explorer known for his incredible adventures across the rugged Scottish Highlands. From pitching tents atop windswept peaks to paddling through secluded lochs, Billy shares his outdoor exploits with a perfect balance of raw grit and genuine wonder. In this episode, Billy teams up with his friend Ray to visit one of the Western Highlands' most chilling locations, the ruins of Lewis Belt. Over time, this decaying stone relic has built up a reputation for eerie happenings, unexplained footsteps, objects moving on their own, and whispered voices hinting at lingering spirits within the walls. Undeterred by the ghost stories, their curiosity drives them to not only explore the site, but to brave a night spent within its haunted confines.
Yeah, that's probably what, about an hour? At least an hour we've been going, and starting to level off just a little bit, but it's not any easier because of the ground so uneven and the wind's picking up. See the snow in the hills though? Oh man, can't wait to get on this track and we start cycling. Whew. Right, you'll see behind me we have finally reached the 4x4 track. That's one of the toughest things I've done in a long time. How did you find that, Ray?
That was horrific, and yeah, that was a bad idea actually.
I think we're both goosed. We might just set the tents up here. I think the ghosts will come this far across from Louis Belt.
It seemed like a good idea at the time, as always. But
on the map it's more direct. But anyway. And we're right in the mountains now, so It's over the back of that one we're heading right along. We'll hit a couple of lochs soon, so I'll probably bring you back when we reach the ruin and we're putting the tents up. It'll be 360 footage and some voiceover work in the interim, so yeah, we'll see you in a wee bit.
On November 1st, 2023, their journey began the way only true Highlanders know how, starting off on mountain bikes, navigating rocky, uneven trails before swapping pedals for boots. The path was tough, steep climbs and relentless terrain, but their energy never faltered. Finally, they crested a high plateau, and there it was, the ruin, stark and solitary against the wild mountain backdrop. Seeing it from afar brought a surge of excitement mixed with an unmistakable undercurrent of nervous anticipation.
Yeah, this building behind us was recently, hopefully you went back and listened to that podcast on Canny, and you would have heard about the stories about the climbers coming here and strange activities and what have you. So whether it's true or not, whether we see anything tonight, I hope not. But it's a beautiful spot nonetheless. I mean, we've covered the mountains. We're in the stags are roaring. The high tops are have got a cap of snow in them. It's starting to clear now. We might get some star shots.
As they made camp beside the shattered remains of the old structure, a biting wind curled through the broken stone. The landscape was undeniably beautiful, vast, remote, untouched. But there was a weight in the air that went beyond the cold, a kind of tension that didn't have a source. The surrounding peaks, lightly coated in snow, loomed like silent watchers, and the silence felt too still, almost unnatural. And then, shortly after they settled in, something shifted, subtle, strange. The kind of moment that makes your skin tighten, even if you don't know why.
Before I left the house, it's never gone that flat. It might just be the cold weather, but I don't know. That sort of thing happened in Most Haunted, didn't it? That's a bit weird. Or is it just a coincidence? Who knows? Right, I've got a power bank with me. I'm going to recharge it and see if we can get some juice out of it. Yeah, I don't know if you can make out the battery there. Should be full, but it's not. It's empty, so I'll go and charge it, but that's a bit odd. Strange, right. Go and charge this in the power bank and see if it helps it. Right, I don't know if you can see me or not, but there's a moon. The moon's rising over the skyline, just to the side of the old ruin. And the light started to go. It's quite dark now. I've had a wee bite to eat. I've got some whiskey actually. I can't remember the name of it. But
one of their camera batteries, fully charged before the trip, suddenly dies without warning. Blaming the cold would make sense, but considering the lore tied to this place, the timing feels off. Unsettling even. Still, they push forward, switching gear and continuing to film as the sun dips below the mountains. As darkness settles in, they light a fire, swap stories, and stare up at a sky littered with stars. On the surface, it's peaceful, almost perfect, but underneath it all, something begins to shift. A quiet weight in the air, like the landscape is holding its breath.
We can do. We are literally, if anything weird happens tonight, we are literally in the middle of nowhere, aren't we?
We're in the boondocks.
Was it 7 or 8 miles away from the closest? I don't know. But there's no way we can just get up and go, put it that way.
No.
We'll just have to bide our time.
And I don't fancy trying to cross the river there to get over to the Bothy either.
Could all huggle together at the Bothy, but it's a really starry night actually, isn't it?
It's nice.
It's absolutely glorious. A bit windy, but
this is what I really like about the winter, or going into winter and the winter camping. When you get a clear night and you can see the Milky Way and the stars, yeah, especially if there's snow on the ground. I mean, we've done quite a few winter camps, and I think it's glorious. Maybe the best time of the year to be out camping.
The long nights.
Yeah. Not everybody's cup of tea, freezing. Yeah. But if you have the right gear and that experience, then I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, no, there's something special about it.
Yeah.
And at this time of year, it's not actually that cold at the moment. So we're inside the site. It's not Bothy. I don't think it was ever a Bothy, was it?
It was.
Was it a Bothy?
It was
a Bothy, yeah. But it's quite a significant house, wasn't it?
It was a Gillies Lodge, yeah. It was a state lodge.
Yeah.
And then it turned to a Bothy for a wee while.
But I
don't know why it ended up there, like though.
I don't know. Yeah, because it was haunted. So after the wee tour, we looked to the skies, and there was actually a slight aurora showing as well as a meteor shower, which we watched before hitting the hay.
They're deep in the highlands, far from any roads or help. If anything went wrong, getting out wouldn't be easy. Before calling it a night, they decide to take one last look around the old ruins. With just their flashlights, they walk through what's left of the structure. The place is mostly rubble now, but a few walls still stand. They find old remains of what used to be, maybe parts of a fireplace or broken beams. It's quiet, almost too quiet, and just as they step outside again, something strange starts to happen.
Very well. In fact, when I looked at my watch, I was delighted when it was said, I think it was 6:50 I woke up. I felt like it was still the middle of the night and I was up every 2 minutes, but I think that was just because of where I am. and just expecting something to happen, which I don't think it did. There was a few noises. Everything's amplified. When I went to sleep with earplugs in and all sorts, and there was one noise through the night, which I'll talk about later on, but it's funny when you're in a place like this, every noise you hear, you have to think about it rationally. And what was preying on my mind is I think I'm on the path. If you've listened to the podcast, there's a bit where they hear a dragging noise on a gravel path. Now, I know it's grass here now, but I think this is the path between the house and the river where they heard this strange gravel sound, dragging sound in the second visit. If you've listened to it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm just going to chill for a bit longer, wait for daylight. Sunrise is about 7:30, so yeah, I'll not be long before there's light and I feel safe enough to venture out again. Right, I'll speak to you. I'll bring you back in a wee while. Oh, right, that's me. Up. Looks like there might be some nice skies behind the camera. Might be a nice sunrise. But yeah, it's light. The tops of the mountains are clear. I don't know if you can make them out, but there's just lovely snow-capped mountains. And I slept pretty well. I didn't sleep well at all. I don't know what I'm talking about. I was going to say I slept pretty well. I didn't. I was actually surprised when morning came there, to be honest with you. And the noise that I heard in the night, I had this thing in my head about this gravel path and the dragging sounds. But I never heard anything of that. But at one point, I was sure I heard a door, like a front door slam. I think it was maybe just me dreaming, to be honest with you, but who knows.
The night offered a rare natural display, with both auroras and meteor showers visible overhead. After watching the skies, the two adventurers turned in, setting up in their tents near the ruins. However, rest was difficult. Throughout the night, they reported hearing unusual sounds, what resembled dragging, intermittent footsteps, and even a noise similar to wood being chopped. Both men noted disturbances, though neither could confirm whether the sounds were external or a result of fatigue and environmental conditions. By morning, no physical evidence was found to explain the noises. While no direct encounter occurred, they described the experience as unsettling. Taken in context with previous reports tied to the location, including unexplained power drain and sensations of being watched, the incident adds to the folklore surrounding the Lewis Belt ruins. Whether these events stem from environmental factors, psychological influence, or something less tangible remains up for debate. If you made it this far, you're officially braver than Billy and Ray, so hit that subscribe button before something else hits you first. And that's it for today. Take care, stay curious, and maybe don't camp in haunted ruins. See you in the next one.